good evening to everyone. Hi, Nina, and hi, Swati.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi,
So,
Meenakshi.
Nina, as we all know, is our author with her book Just a Miracle, and Dr. Swatishree Panda. She is one of the readers. Swati, very nice to know that you have read and enjoyed the book. Tell us some of the things about the book which you just loved.
First of all, I didn't know anything about this in fact, I know Nina so well, but when I saw this book and I was surprised to know all these things. First of all, I didn't know anything what had happened to her because she is always such a jovial person. So you will not know what she has gone through. She had gone through in her past and all, but all is well that ends well. And then, yes, of course, it's a very, very difficult journey which she had gone through. But what kept her going is her positivity and her strength, self-love. That is the main important thing. Yeah.
Yes, very well said. Nina, you want to say
Yeah.
something about what Swati just said?
Yeah, I think Meenakshi, Swati didn't know anything about me because we met each other much later when my
Yes.
son was in the 10th or 11th or something like that. And we met at a very different phase of life wherein we were all part of one committee, and then we were neighbors, posted in one place, posted in Cochin together. So we didn't have anything to do with the. And in any case, I never clinged on to my past at all. In fact, for writing the book, I had to literally, dust off all the old memories and literally go through that once more to write this book. And so that is one thing. And again, Swati, like you said, self-love, of course, yes. That's the only reason why I could come out of it. Acceptance and self-love. That's the only two things that I could come out of it.
I really loved what Nina just said, that I don't like to cling to the past, but to write the book, I had to go back to some old memories.
Literally.
Yeah. So how was that experience, Nina, going back to old memories?
Again, going back to old memories, I think it was like I was quite detached from that. Okay, I was looking at it from as if it happened to someone else, not from my perspective at all. Like, I was looking at it in a very different way. Like, that's how probably I could put it across in this particular manner, what I put it across in the book. If I was still clinging on to my past and if I still felt the pain, I wouldn't be writing that.
Yeah,
I would have
absolutely,
written it out
absolutely.
like that. Yeah, because I think, Meenakshi, for me, once I started accepting my reality in life, I became quite detached from that. In the sense, I told myself that you have to enjoy this life of yours. You will enjoy this life. Whatever is given to you, you will enjoy the way it is given. Okay, there are issues. It'll all keep happening. And find out ways to come out of it in your best possible way. And I think my talents came to my help quite a lot. And of course, George was always there support.
Just before you said George, of course, George has been such an important part of your journey. And Dr. Swati said your jovial nature. So by nature, you are a happy person, right? That also,
Always.
yeah.
Always.
So we spoke about self-love, and what Swati said, that, she found it very surprising that this was your journey. Swati, this is a subject which is very sensitive, right? I want you to tell me, how did you feel? Because you were reading something which was very, very sensitive, very personal,
Very
and
personal.
also something, yeah. And it was actually giving such details about a situation which we don't normally talk about. How was that experience of reading something so unique, so personal, and such a subject, such a sensitive subject?
Actually, see, uh, it actually touched my heart. And no one will, I have never come across a person. I have got so many friends, very close friends also, a very close friend, colleague, doctor friend, who don't have any, she doesn't have any issue, but she never discussed anything about it. And whenever faintly even somebody asks or this topic raises, she will just avoid it. So I always felt this thing is something they don't want to discuss. But I always felt it should be discussed. I mean, it is whatever has happened, it is not your fault. So you are not supposed to hide it. I mean, it is nothing. It's not something that you have committed a crime. You know? So it is not something you should hide it. And by saying that and acting in that manner, they will make us also uncomfortable. And so when I'm talking to somebody, and generally when we sit together, like all everywhere, we start talking about children, maid, and all these things. But when this topic of children comes, this my friend of mine, she used to just keep quiet and try to avoid this thing, and that used to make us feel very uncomfortable. And later we will say, oh, we shouldn't have talked about this. But then when I read this book, I very clearly, she has said, don't suffer alone. And this is not that you should suffer alone. So that's a very, very good thing, which I liked it like very much. And then when somebody keeps quiet about the problem, others start talking about her problem.
Very much.
In a different manner. See, they actually don't know what you are going through and what you are trying, and what exactly is the problem. Sometimes happens like I got married after my MBBS, then I did my post-graduation, and in the meantime some 5 years had passed when my first daughter was born. And within 2-3 years, people started asking me, "Ki, what happened? Why you are not conceiving? Is there any problem? Have you shown to a doctor? Have you gone through tests and all?" They didn't understand that I myself, we only didn't know, and they didn't understand what all we are going through by not getting, so that I don't get pregnant, you know. So people start talking about that. So that is the thing. You should be very, very clear about it. Don't feel shy, or don't feel bad, and don't keep things to yourself. So that is a very, very, when you say, okay, I'm doing this, so people will know you are doing this, and this is the truth, and this is the fact. So they will not start, oh, this must be like that, she must be like that, that must have happened, that. So they keep assuming and keep talking. So
Yeah,
that
so
is
I think, so
uh,
Nina has what she's done. I think she has also started a conversation about a topic which, like you rightly said, most people will avoid and be uncomfortable. But it hasn't been Nina's journey like so easily. Even Nina went through that self-doubt. And
ah,
so
yes,
self-love came from self-doubt. And that's the beauty of the
yes,
book,
yes.
that
No,
it doesn't
uh,
even put Nina on a pedestal. It shows that,
huh.
like anybody else, she
It's
has suffered society's expectations, the barbs, even the fears. Right, Nina? So you've gone through
Quite
the
a lot.
curve of, yeah, yeah.
Gone through
So,
that.
so tell
And
us.
actually, like what I found is like I went through those difficult times, but I learned from that.
mm,
I transformed myself for, I mean, how, I don't know how, but it didn't happen. It did happen. Like I learned from that. I understood that if I keep it to myself, I'm not going to succeed in life at all. In the sense, like I can never have a peaceful life if I keep it to me and George. So what I started doing is I used to discuss this with everybody possible. Any cousin of mine asking me, how are you? With that, how are you? Before they ask me anything else, I would tell them, I went to this doctor and something happened. And this happened, that happened, I had injection. So mine was to after few years, okay, initial years, like I told, I've written in the book, I never discussed initial years, but I learned from that. Then I learned that when I kept quiet and I kept it away from people, I was always a topic of discussion. And I was
true.
not only discussion, speculations. It's not only discussion, speculations. Like they speculate, okay, Nina, when that said, okay, maybe this is a problem. She didn't look that said, that's a problem. So many speculations. Then I realized if I had to be free from that, open up. Then I started telling my problem to people. Then they were also welcoming. Then they realized, okay, there's an issue and she's discussing. So the minute they used to see me, they used to ask me like, okay, did you go to that doctor, any other doctor? And I was also okay with it because they know the problem. And they were more empathetic then.
So you are helping people. So in
Yeah,
many ways, by opening our heart out, we also help society to transform in many
of
ways.
course.
And I think that's what Dr. Swati is trying to say.
Yeah.
What else did you like about the book? Of course, you've already mentioned self-love and you've talked about, this whole journey. But what are the other things? Because there are a lot of learnings and inspiration and outcomes that Nina has put forth. Anything
Yeah,
else you wanted to say?
and another thing, she's a very talented person, God gifted. So she didn't waste her time brooding and crying and self-pity and all these things. Instead of that, she had used her talents, and she came out of her suffering. And maybe because of that, we always say that you have to keep your mind relaxed and all. Maybe because of all these things, and when you're doing something, say embroidery, crochet, gardening, or even dance and music, whatever you are doing, you are in the present. So you don't think about the past or don't think about the future. So you are in the present, and that way you relax your mind. So that is a very important thing, and she's God gifted. Because of that, she could pull through. That is another thing which is very, very nice thing. And acceptance, first you accept yourself, then people will accept you. If you don't accept yourself, people will not accept you. You cannot. And another thing is, we have, after reading her book, so many people who are going through this will learn to open up, to do all this things. So this is a very nice book she has written about her journey. And moreover, it is like, it's a very easy read. It's a very easy read. So
That's true.
that,
That's true,
yeah.
The first thought that came to my mind when I was reading Nina's book, I don't know whether I told Nina, is that as I was reading, it started from a space of discomfort because it was a topic which people don't talk about, to feeling as if I was part of that journey, right? Um, I was technically part of the journey because I knew her, but to be part of a journey of another person with a topic which initially makes you uncomfortable, I think she has managed to accomplish that purely with one thing. And that is simplicity. Like there's a lot of simplicity that comes across. But there's also a lot of honesty. Swati, you want to comment on the fact that there's a lot of honesty where she
Yes.
acknowledges a lot of problems that can happen, right? I think that will help
Maybe,
people.
and whatever she has written down, I think that is a tip of the iceberg. She must have suffered much more than that. I realized that. And first time when I spoke to her after reading her book, I told as if I'm talking, I felt like as if I'm talking to her. Like the way she talks, she's written down everything, and that shows the honesty of the book.
Nina, you want to comment on this? This whole
Actually, yeah,
style.
my style of writing. In fact, for me, I thought when I read, like I would like to read and finish a book in one go. Okay, I don't like to keep on, going back to the book. So I wanted to write a very simple book, and I wanted a book which should be understood by everybody. And one thing what I found is writing a simple book is not very easy. The simple language is not easy. Yeah, many times I used to have some words would come out, then I would think, okay, some people may not understand this. So writing a simple book was not that easy. Again, a lot of understanding for me as like uh, for a book to be impactful, it doesn't have to contain a lot of flowery language, and even a simple book can really have an impact on people. All those things are
Yeah.
understandings for me, and I wanted the book to be just like how I am, because I'm
Yes.
a very open person, and I don't have, I don't have any hang-ups about anything in life as such. I'm very cool. Generally, I'm very, very cool.
I actually I like what you said, that no hang-ups.
No hang-up.
I think this comes across in the book. There
Yeah.
is no hang-up.
Yeah. Like
Um,
people tell me that you're so talented, and I keep wondering, like, what is so talented? I just keep doing my hands and doing an embroidery. What's so big about it? So,
Yes.
like, I don't. Like when people tell me that, oh my God, you've written a book, so I keep thinking, what did I do? I wrote a book, so that's nothing great about it. So
Yeah,
I
and
I
want,
another
think it's
thing,
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
certainly.
So the book
Go
I
ahead,
was
Swati.
that only.
So another thing is, if the book is simple, it will reach to more people. More people will read
It
it.
has to reach. It has to reach
Yeah,
because
and
But
I think that must be the idea of your writing down a book like that.
only
Yes,
idea is
it should,
that
yes.
it has
So
to
it
reach
should
people.
reach many more people who are going through this, who are, and I am sure many will be benefited by your book.
Of course,
So
I
yes.
think another point of courage to my mind is that she chose to say this in the first person. Like it's her story, her biographical account or a memoir. Nina, you had an option of making it fiction, right? Or did you never
I
think of
could.
that?
I could because I could do it, and being a student of literature, I could actually do it. But I thought that when you do that part of it, uh, the way I am will not come out in that. There'll be an element of a fakeness, according to me, would come into that because I fake a lot of things when I write that. I would fake a lot
then,
of things, but I
yeah.
wanted to be the way I am. And that's what I want to tell people. The way you are, you can still live. You can really pull out of things the way you are. You don't have to put
Yeah.
up an act. You don't have
Yeah.
to, say that I'm so
And
and so or I'm, yeah. You don't have to have any of these things. Just the way you are, you can really manage your life. That's what I want to put across to the readers. And I think I've managed doing that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
yeah.
Another thing I thought the three of us should discuss is that there's a lot of empowerment. When
Mm.
we talk about women empowerment, we think it is about better salary, equality. But what you have done is a very subtle way of empowering women by saying, don't hide, things which
Don't
make
have
you
to.
vulnerable.
Don't have to
Yeah,
hide
that
anything.
make
Actually. Yeah.
Also, you've talked a lot about relationships, right? The relationship between a husband and wife, particularly when something like infertility strikes the family, right? I thought these were very
Infertility,
nice things.
infertility, or
Yeah,
even like depression for some ladies, or mood swings for that matter.
yeah.
All those
Yeah.
things.
Swati, you are a doctor too, right? You are
Yeah.
a MBBS doctor. Would
Yeah.
you like to comment on how, because for women, particularly in our society, somehow they become responsible and accountable for everything.
Everything.
That is there every all the time. Still now things are changing, but that is there. So, like she has mentioned in the book, don't make yourself responsible for whatever has happened. Like you have not committed a crime, you have not done anything wrong to be to deserve this. I mean, it happened to happen. It happened. It can happen to anyone. So women are not responsible for should not make themselves responsible for everything. And she's very fortunate that her husband, her family,
Supported.
both sides
Yeah.
of the
Both
family were
sides.
so
Full
supportive.
support.
And that is another thing. If the family is not supportive, then people will, like, everybody can left, right and center, they will come and pounce at you. But the family, when they are supportive, they will be like your strength and your armor, like so.
Yeah.
It's
I can see Swati herself is a very strong woman, and
Yes.
nothing like your readers have to be equally strong. Swati, this is the kind of book you would recommend that somebody just picks up so that they get this inner strength, I think, which
yes.
is so important to make life's
Yes.
journey a little bit better, right?
Yes. And moreover, this is all very simple things. And these are all, like, when you are reading, when I'm reading, I can also relate to so many things. So whoever picks up this book will relate to something or the other. There are so many things in the books you can relate to it. So any girl, any lady, any person for that matter, any age, can relate to something or the other in this book.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a
Lots of
very nice and interesting read. Plus, you can feel the pain inside, but still it is like acceptance. What you're saying, ki, "Ha, theek hai, it is there, it is there. I mean, it is there. So what? kind of.
Yeah.
I
Go
mean,
getter
I should
kind.
just add, today a friend of mine who read this book, she told me that she said the first thing she asked me is, "Have I ever hurt you?" So I said, I said, definitely not. She said, I also remember asking you long back, any good news? So I said, coming from you, imagine the impact the book has had on us. So she's asking me, and she told me, I'm so sorry if I've ever hurt you. I didn't mean anything. I said, you've never hurt me. You've never hurt me like that. And then I told her, even if you asked me, I wouldn't have ever bothered about it because you're a friend of mine. So she says, what she was trying to tell me is, Nina, once I read the book, I kept on asking myself, did you ever go and ask her something? Did you ever make her cry? So this is all that I wanted to sensitize people about.
No, no,
And
this is very important. In
important,
fact,
no?
this is so important.
So
It makes all of
important.
us think. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's
Did I
very
ever,
critical.
yeah. And then she was saying, I even after I told her, no, you've never heard me, she says, no, no, come on. I would have asked you because I had a child, then I would have definitely asked you. I said, no problem. So it's
No, no,
like,
but I think I wanted Swati, in fact, to comment on this, that when Nina says my objective is to sensitize society,
yeah.
right, on subjects which people don't talk about. One of the things sensitizing is very important is what not to ask a person, because I think
Yeah.
we go and ask anything.
Ask
We
Any
anything.
question?
It
Any
is
question?
unintentionally we ask some sensitive question which we don't feel okay. So what if it? But the other person who's facing it will get hurt or something. So it is very very unintentional. Still, we should know what not to ask somebody. That is very very important.
I love how Nina has done that. In fact, I make it like a lesson that I tell my students that don't ask them if they have children. Why? What is the need to say things like that? How many kids do you have? I typically, when I meet somebody, I try to say, are you with your family here? And the family could be anybody, it could be parents, it could be husband, it could be anybody. But we have to stop ourselves because we don't know how deep the thing is, Nina. So I think that's one of the splendid things she's done.
And
Swati, tell me.
sorry, one more
Yeah.
thing is like I was just telling my friend today when we, unintentionally when we keep asking people like, oh, your son, okay, not married till now. Oh, daughter, when is she getting? If their son getting married or not, does it really concern us? Then we can keep on asking. Otherwise, how does it matter? How does it really matter?
No, in
So
fact,
generally,
my students were saying this, that after meeting ma'am and some of them met you, that we realized that it's very important to say and ask the right things. Yes, Swati, you were saying something.
So generally what happens when we meet somebody in say in a party or something, generally to for the conversation to go on, we start talking like that. No? So where are you staying? How many children? What are you doing? And also generally it is very, very unintentional and very naturally coming questions. But yeah, it is very, very sensitive for who's actually going through some problem.
Yeah, also asking about marriage.
Marriage,
Nina has
Yeah.
very rightly
yeah,
pointed.
marriage.
Mhm.
Um,
And these
I'm
days,
not married.
and then these days jobs of kids, many kids are not
Ah,
working because they want to experiment on certain things. Like recently
yes.
I found someone whom we know, their son was working and all of a sudden he's realized that music is his passion, so he's quit his job and
Hmm.
pursuing music. So now when you I recently I saw somebody asking him, what are you doing? And they were asking, but why music at this age? Does it really matter? Let them do music at whichever age. It doesn't matter to us at all.
No, but Nina, I think this is something that you have brought it through a book on infertility is itself an achievement. But I hope that this kind of thought process which you have begun, and you have worked as a special educator, I hope you can do it more and more, and you can do it subtly, because
Yeah.
nobody wants a life lesson, right? We
No,
want
no,
it
no.
through experience.
So
So I think
that's why Meenakshi, I've gotten to the style of storytelling and put it subtly. So it's not preachy then. It doesn't
Ah, yeah. No
book.
one will like any.
Nobody likes it.
Another thing what I liked about the book is the myths what she has written in the end of the book, no? So those are very good things. I'm so happy that you've written down all these things to summarize, no? This is after 35, ye khane se, wo khane se, it should not happen, all these things. So that is another good thing what you have done, written
I
down.
was actually waiting for you to say this because you are a doctor, and
Yeah.
who better than a doctor to
Yes.
understand that
Yes.
there are so many misconceptions,
So
and
many mistakes.
yeah, and even educated people will say silly things like holding a woman responsible for the
Huh.
gender and
Oh,
for infertility,
yeah.
and also making them feel like Nina has actually narrated an incident, making her feel that how lucky she is that her husband didn't leave her.
Didn't
Like
leave.
ridiculous, like really
Yeah.
ridiculous stuff. But I think Swati, as a reader, as an educated, aware reader, you can understand that the misconceptions are so deep in society that you alone
Correct.
can't address it. I think each one of us has to
Yes.
work on that, right?
I mean, I just
Yes.
had to ask Swati, like, do you think, okay, infertility, I understand. So do you think that this book is helpful for anyone other than the ones undergoing infertility?
That is what I said. Na? Everyone will have something or the other to relate in this book. It is not only infertility per se. It is everything what you have written down. Like I said, the hobbies and all, you have like so many girls, ladies who are not doing anything for some reason. They should not succumb to they should not keep sulking. I don't have anything to do. I don't have they should go into some hobby classes, join, like you said, na, whenever you got time, you went for just 3 months, you had time and you went for soft toys courses and classes. And even that place was not for you, it was
Not
only for
at all.
sailors.
Oh, you
Uh,
won't believe like how much I struggled to get into that place. Every day I would go and stand in front of that lady. And I think she got fed
yeah.
up with me and enrolled me into the course.
So that is what I'm saying. It is not only that infertility per se person will have some this thing. Anybody who reads this book, some point or the other will can relate to this. So that is
Yeah.
a very good thing about this book.
Yeah, but nothing like Nina, nothing like having a reader who is not only, of course, a woman, but also someone who is a doctor, because she understands better than anybody that, society, you can give them treatment, but you cannot
Yeah.
change the mindset that easily. So, like,
Yes.
that's a journey which Nina's book is embarked on. And I personally get a lot of satisfaction when I see people trying to make a difference, basically make a difference to society. I think it's
Yes,
great.
yes, yes.
So,
And
so
I
lovely,
mean,
lovely to talk. Yeah.
even for doctors, I mean, what I've realized is, Meenakshi, because I've gone through these treatments and too many doctors I've met, what I found is when a doctor is treating, you are one among thousands of patients for them. Okay. So you may think that, okay, the doctor has to keep on telling what I want to hear. But that is not what is going to happen. What is going to
Yeah.
happen is they just tell you things, what is general, like, okay, this is the thing, but then for you, there's the only thing that you have in your life. And you may get upset.
That is very true. That is very true.
Yeah.
Like patients come and just keep on telling the problem and problem and problem. I say, see, I have seen patients like you, some 100 or 500 or 1,000 patients like you. For you, it is only yourself.
Only
But I
yourself.
have
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, so then I thought, like, a doctor also will not be able to put across emotional struggles of any person suffering because they don't know that.
Hmm.
They don't know that, right? Only the person suffering knows that. So that's what I thought.
Yeah, we can, and that's what, no, we can only say, हाँ ठीक हो
Yeah.
जाएगा. Everything will come to an end. Everything will be fine. That is all. That is all. But the person who is going through this will have a different feeling altogether.
Anyway,
So I hope, the doctor's treatment and, the soothing words from a book which makes sense can help us make a difference. Thank you once again, Dr. Swati and Nina. What a nice conversation. And let's hope more and more people can read and, pass this message.
thank you so much,
Thank you.
Meenakshi. Thank you so much,
Thank,
Swati. Thank you.
thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.